The total value locked in Avalanche's ecosystem continues to rise to new all-time highs, and the AVAX coin has responded in kind. This is primarily because of the Avalanche Rush DeFi incentive program, which began in mid-August, and this program will continue for quite some time. So today I'm going to show you how you can access Avalanche's expanding ecosystem, where to find promising Avalanche gems, and how to mint and manage Avalanche NFTs. But first, a pause to tell you about a clause. During this tutorial, you will see a series of cryptos and NFTs. Do not take this as a sign of any endorsement from me. They're only there for illustrative purposes, so contact a financial advisor before making any crypto purchases. If this is your first time in this corner of Crypto Town, my name is Guy, and the Coin Bureau is where some of the best crypto content can be found. Coins, tokens, news, reviews, tutorials, exchanges, DeFi protocols, regulations, taxes, market moves, and crypto conspiracies too. If this sounds like what you've been looking for, subscribe to the channel and ping that notification bell to make sure you get more. The timestamps below will help guide you on your journey. You can use them to get a sense of what comes next and even skip ahead if you're in a hurry. I'd love it if you watch from beginning to end because it'll help this video trend, and if you don't, it's okay. You're still my friend. So, now that you know my stance, let's hit the slopes with Avalanche. Before I begin the tutorial, I reckon it's wise to know what you're in for. So, Avalanche was founded in 2018 by Cornell University professor Emin Gün Sirer. Avalanche was created by Ava Labs, which Emin founded that same year. After raising $60 million in 2019 and 2020, the Avalanche mainnet went live in September 2020. Now, Avalanche is named after a novel proof-of-stake consensus mechanism proposed in 2018 by an anonymous group of developers called Team Rocket. The Avalanche consensus mechanism makes it possible for Avalanche to process over 4,500 transactions per second with near instant finality while maintaining a high degree of security. Avalanche transactions also cost next to nothing, and they cost even less thanks to Phase 4 of the Apricot upgrade, which took place on September the 22nd. Avalanche consists of 3 blockchains. These are the Exchange Chain, or X Chain, Platform Chain, or P Chain, and Contract Chain, or C Chain. The X Chain is used to mint assets on Avalanche. The P Chain makes it possible to create customizable blockchains called subnets, which leverage Avalanche's existing validators. The C Chain hosts all of Avalanche's smart contracts. Because the C Chain uses a modified version of the Ethereum virtual machine, this makes it easy to deploy Ethereum dApps on Avalanche, hence why a few of them can be found there. There are currently around 100 dApps on Avalanche with a total value locked of over $4 billion. Now, if you want to learn more about how Avalanche works and what it's been up to, you can find my most recent video about the project in the description. To access Avalanche's ecosystem of dApps, you're going to need a browser extension wallet. As I mentioned a few moments ago, Avalanche's C Chain leverages the EVM, and this means Avalanche can be easily added to MetaMask. The first step is to set up MetaMask, and if you don't already have MetaMask set up, then I have a video that can help you with that, and it's up there in the top right. So, once you have MetaMask installed, open up the browser extension and click on the top where it says Ethereum Mainnet. At the bottom of the list of network options, you'll see Custom RPC. Click on that. Here you'll need to enter information about the Avalanche C Chain. I'll leave a link to this information in the description for you to copy and paste. Pro tip, it's easier to enter this information by expanding the view on your MetaMask wallet. This can easily be done using the 3 dots on the right-hand side and clicking Expand View. After entering all the information about the Avalanche chain, you'll automatically be switched to the Avalanche network. Now that you've made your MetaMask wallet compatible with Avalanche, you'll need to load up on some AVAX to pay for transaction fees and purchase tokens on the C Chain. Now, what I'm about to say is very important, so please listen closely. You cannot, I repeat, you cannot send AVAX on the X Chain directly to the C Chain. If you do this, you will lose your cryptocurrency. This means that if you already have AVAX sitting in your official Avalanche wallet, you will first need to transfer it to the C chain. To do this, open your Avalanche wallet and click on the left where it says Cross-Chain. If you scroll down a bit, you'll see the option to swap your AVAX to Avalanche's other chains. Make sure the C chain is selected as the destination chain and input the amount of AVAX you want to transfer. Note that you need 0.002 AVAX to pay for the fee, so subtract that from the amount you want to send, or else the Confirm button won't light up. Click Confirm and then Transfer. After a few seconds, you should see the AVAX has successfully transferred to your C chain account. On the left-hand side, click Send and select the C chain. Open up your MetaMask browser extension and copy your wallet address by clicking on it. Paste this into the address field and remember to select how much AVAX you want to send to your MetaMask account. Once that's done, click Confirm and then Send Transaction. Now, if the transaction fails the first time like it did for me, reduce the amount you're trying to send by a couple of dollars and try again. It should take no longer than 5 to 10 seconds for your AVAX balance to show up in your MetaMask wallet. If you don't currently have any AVAX, you're in luck because it's much easier to send AVAX to MetaMask from Binance and KuCoin thanks to their native C-chain support. Both Binance and KuCoin should automatically select the withdrawal network as AVAX C-chain, but always make sure to double-check that the correct network has been selected and select it manually if need be. If you don't have a Binance or KuCoin account yet, you can find tutorials for both in the video description. Now that you've got some AVAX in your MetaMask, it's time to get your hands on some Avalanche tokens. The best place to do this is the Pangolin DEX, a Uniswap clone which was actually Avalanche's first dApp. To use Pangolin, click on Connect a Wallet on the top right. This will open a list of supported browser extension wallets. Click on MetaMask. Next, you'll be prompted to approve your connection to the Pangolin DEX. Click Next and then Connect. To find the token you want to swap with, click on Select a Token and then type in the token name. If the token you're looking for isn't showing up, you'll have to input the token contract address manually, and you can find it on the C-Chain Explorer. I'll leave a link to it in the description. Now, always remember to double-check the token contract address. The last thing you want is to buy the wrong shitcoin. Am I right? Jokes aside, when you paste this address into Pangolin's search box, you should be given the option to add the token. In this case, I'm using USDC as an example, so there is no add option. Now, as you can see, I'm going to swap about half of my AVAX for USDC to lend out on Benqi to earn some nice yields. I'll explain what that means in a moment. After clicking on Swap, you'll be asked to confirm the swap. You'll also have to confirm the transaction again in your MetaMask as usual. Luckily, you won't have to tweak the gas fees because they cost nothing anyways, and the transaction should confirm within about 5 seconds. If the token you choose is a popular one, it should automatically show up in your MetaMask wallet balance. If it's not a popular token or just doesn't show up, you'll have to once again enter the token contract address manually. To do this, open up your MetaMask wallet and scroll down to where it says Add Token. This will open up a field where you can enter the contract address you found on the C-Chain Explorer. When you do that, the rest of the fields will automatically fill, and your token should show up in your wallet after that. Now, I know what you're thinking, but Guy, what if I want to move some of my ERC20 tokens from Ethereum to Avalanche? Easy. Just use the Avalanche Bridge. The first thing you'll see when you get there is the option to click to connect your MetaMask wallet. To move tokens from Ethereum to Avalanche, click on the Switch button. This will automatically open a prompt to switch your MetaMask wallet back to the Ethereum network. After entering the token you want to send, click Swap and you'll be asked to confirm 2 separate transactions. Now this cost me about $30 in ETH gas plus bridge fees. Next, you'll have to wait for 35 confirmations, which is about 10 minutes minus the time it takes for your transaction to get picked up by an Ethereum miner. Once the transfer is complete, you'll get this nifty page giving you the stats about your transfer, which aren't entirely accurate as far as the Ethereum fees go. If the token you transferred doesn't show up in the Avalanche version of your MetaMask wallet, click on the message just beneath the transaction details. This will open up a new screen. Here, all you have to do is click on the little MetaMask icon. This will automatically add the token you transferred to your MetaMask wallet on Avalanche, and it should show up at the bottom of your list. Sending ERC20 tokens on Avalanche back to Ethereum is the same process but in reverse. Just bear in mind that there is a minimum amount that you need to have of that token if you want to send it back. Guess I'll have to do something about that. Anyways, at the time of shooting, Benqi is the largest dApp on Avalanche by TVL. As you might have guessed, Benqi is a crypto lending and borrowing protocol similar to Aave. Now on that note, Aave should be deploying on Avalanche any day now, and it's possible it'll be up by the time this video hits the tube. When you navigate to the Benqi app, you'll be immediately asked to connect your wallet. The process here is straightforward. Just click on MetaMask and click Next and Connect when the prompt pops up. You'll then be brought to the main page of Benqi, and before you do anything, it's a good idea to see what the interest rates are for all the tokens supported on the protocol. You can do this by clicking the Overview tab on the left-hand side. As you can see, the interest rates on lending some tokens is pretty damn high, specifically USDT at around 10% per year. On the borrow side, you can see that some of the interest owed on those borrowed tokens is negative, and this means you can actually earn money by borrowing. Now this sounds insane, but it's happened before, specifically when Compound Finance was first launched last summer. Comp token rewards users got for interacting with the protocol made it profitable to borrow. I suspect the reason why we're seeing these negative yields on Benqi is because of the $180 million Avalanche Rush incentive program, which is basically airdropping money to users of Avalanche's DeFi protocols. Because I can see that borrowing AVAX currently offers the highest negative yields, I'm going to supply my USDC as collateral to borrow some AVAX. This requires giving permission to Benqi to access the USDC in my wallet, which is why I first need to approve the transaction before I can actually supply the collateral. This shouldn't take longer than 10 seconds. Now that I've supplied the USDC, I need to enable it as collateral. This is a bit hard to see, as you need to scroll down and click on the little slider below the word collateral. You'll have to sign another transaction for this, of course. Now with my USDC in the chamber, I can now go over to the Borrow tab and take out some AVAX. To make sure I don't get liquidated, I'm only going to borrow half of my limit using the slider, which is around $15. Now that I've successfully borrowed some AVAX, I'm going to keep a close eye on the interest I owe on it. This will accrue over time. Note that these negative yields will not last long, and you must always pay very close attention to them in the coming weeks if you do happen to take out a loan on Benqi. A failure to do so could result in your collateral being liquidated. In this case, I could lose that USDC I put up as collateral. Like enabling your collateral, paying back any crypto you borrowed requires scrolling down a bit on the Borrow tab until you see the little Repay button. In this case, I'm going to return all the AVAX I just borrowed, and this will require another transaction confirmation on MetaMask. With my AVAX returned, I can head back to the Borrow tab and disable my USDC as collateral. I can now withdraw the USDC back into my MetaMask wallet and go hunting for up-and-coming projects. When it comes to finding new Avalanche projects, there are two places you can go. The first is Avalanche, which is a launchpad for Avalanche projects. Now, Avalanche seems to have a lot of support from the Avalanche community, including Ava Labs, and it has hosted 3 token sales so far. As far as I can tell, these projects were thoroughly vetted in advance. Participating in Avalanche token sales requires completing KYC, and allocations partially depend on how many XAVA tokens you stake on the platform. Note that XAVA staking does not require KYC. The second place you can find new Avalanche projects is Lydia Finance, which can be simply described as a PancakeSwap clone. Lydia Finance also seems to have a lot of support from the Avalanche community, though it does not seem to provide the same due diligence for any projects raising funds on its platform. Lydia Finance only recently introduced its launchpad and has only conducted 1 token sale so far. Instead of an ICO, IDO, or IEO, Lydia Finance features, quote, initial farm offerings, or IFOs. This means you must provide liquidity to the AVAX LYD trading pair on the Lydia Finance DEX and use the liquidity tokens you get to participate in token sales. Note that this does not require KYC. It should go without saying that you should do your own research before aping into any cryptocurrency project on Avalanche, regardless of if it has been vetted or not. I happen to have a video that can help you do that, and you can find it up there in the top right. Now this brings me to the last thing I want to show you today, and that's Avalanche NFTs. There are technically two ways you can mint an Avalanche NFT: on the X chain using the official Avalanche wallet, or on the C chain using YetiSwap. What I'm about to say is again very important, so please listen closely. It is not possible, I repeat, it is not possible to move NFTs between the X chain and the C chain for the time being. This is extremely important because if you happen to purchase an Avalanche NFT on the X chain, you might have a hard time reselling it anytime soon, as there seems to be much less liquidity there. If you're interested in minting NFTs on the X chain using the official Avalanche wallet, I'll leave a tutorial for you in the description. Just be aware that creating NFTs this way requires first uploading the image elsewhere on the web, and this can quite frankly be a bit of a pain. To mint NFTs on the C chain using YetiSwap, launch the YetiSwap app and click on where it says NFT Marketplace. Once you're there, find the option on the right-hand corner that says Create. Oh, and you might want to connect your Metamask wallet to YetiSwap while you're at it. Metamask is the only option here, so it should be pretty hard to mess it up. I'm going to create a single collectible since that's currently the only option, and the steps here are pretty straightforward too. Note that you can upload not only images but also audio and video. Also be wary of the supported file formats or else your NFT won't be viewable, as I quickly found out. Once you're happy with the info you've entered, click Create Item. You'll be asked to connect to your wallet if you haven't already, and if you have, just click on Upload File and then Mint NFT. This will cost a bit of AVAX. You'll automatically be brought to the Profile tab on YetiSwap, where you can see the NFT you've created. Selling your NFT is super easy and can be done by clicking the Sell button. Note that YetiSwap sets the selling currency to its own token by default. So make sure to change that to AVAX before you sell, and remember to select the category or else the NFT won't be put up for sale. You should see your NFT automatically move to the On Sale tab, and if you go back to the NFT Marketplace and organize it by recently posted, you should see yours at the top. As you've probably noticed, there are a lot of so-called forks of popular Ethereum NFTs on Avalanche. Again, do your research before you even think about buying any of these. It's also worth pointing out that Avalanche's NFT ecosystem is still very much in its infancy. Now, you can get my latest take about the NFT market as a whole by clicking the link up there in the top right. And that's all for today's Avalanche tutorial, folks. I hope you found it useful. If you learned something new, be sure to turn that like button blue. Remember to subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and ping that notification bell so you get a ding when the next one is ready. In the meantime, you can get a peek behind the scenes at Coin Bureau Clips and follow me on Twitter, TikTok and Instagram for a laughing fit. I've even got a free Telegram channel with more daily updates than you can handle. The real deal is my weekly newsletter though. That's where you'll get all the info you need to supercharge your crypto portfolio. Last but not least, you can get your hands on a cool crypto hoodie or tee at the Coin Bureau merch store. Every penny goes towards supporting me and my team. You can find your way to my other channels, socials, Telegram, merch store, and more using the links down below. Thank you all so much for your time. It's been a blast, but I gotta go fast. So, take care, Cryptonauts.